Barakah, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, Bahashim Kodash. Double honors to the elder apostles and elder bishops of the GMS, including the elders that came before them that taught us this truth. And shalom and salutations to all the brothers out pushing the word in truth and in sincerity, the hopeful elect tabernacle of David. I'm the brother Yahshua back with the WW3 Daily Update. Shalom and salutations to you as well. A little under the weather, so I'm going to try to keep this short. Is this Tuesday? Oh, this is Wednesday. So usually Tuesday is the wars and rumors of war, but we'll do it today. Probably did it a day or two ago anyway. Matthew 24:6, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. So we have wars and rumors of war. We have wars and threats of wars. We have wars and reports of war. There's rumors, threats, reports, and news. And the news of battles far away. All right? So let's watch some rumors, news, reports, and threats. This is redacted. Everybody's showing this, but it's very important as to what's going on in World War III, how people are putting their country on a war footing, if you will. Let's get that real quick. Let's look that up. Extraction, what is it? Put this war type footing. What is a war type footing? Nothing, huh? War footing? Nothing? All right, let's not look at Wikipedia then. Let's go to Google. Bear with me. Through the spirit, let me see. War type. Warlike. Warlike. All right. If a country or armed force isn't on a war footing, it is ready to fight. What? It is ready to fight a war. What? If a country or armed force is on a war footing, it is ready to fight a war. All right. Let's see. War footing. This is what they're doing right now. The condition of being prepared to undertake or maintain war. This is why they're doing this whole UFO thing, because really what they're doing is to show that, NORAD and when they scramble these jets, that they're, up to the task, and these kind of things are happening every day. So get ready for what is coming. Now the reason for it, okay, goes deeper, and your boy Edward Snowden is going to break that down, because the truth came out about what happened to the Nord Stream pipeline. So they played the UFO card, which this is just the beginning of the UFO card. But they had to play the pre-UFO card to distract you from the truth that Vladimir Putin is mad because it came out that America was behind the Nord Stream bombing, which is an act of terrorism. All right? Which means what? That Babylon the Great has always been the damn terrorist.
What Edward Snowden just said about the UFOs is kind of terrifying, and actually should concern all of us, because it's not about aliens specifically. So NSA whistleblower, an American hero in my mind, and on this show's mind, I believe, agrees with us here at Redacted, as we've been warning you over the past few days, that all of this UFO talk is just a distraction. Just a distraction to take your mind off of what's really going on here. Take your mind off of Seymour Hersh and his bombshell reporting on the Nord Stream pipeline that the U.S. blew up the Nord Stream pipeline. Where'd that story go? Where's the mainstream media coverage of that story? Arguably one of the biggest stories in 100 years, that the U.S. carried out one of the biggest ecological terrorist attacks of all time against our allies in the EU. But no, there's no coverage of it. So it's all distraction, right? To take your mind off of other things so that the U.S. can go to war and get us fully involved in World War III with China and Russia. So right after Seymour Hersh's piece ran last week and exposed how the U.S. deep state destroyed the Nord Stream pipeline, the mainstream media snapped right to attention, fell right in line, and ignored the story. And they followed in line in favor of covering this balloon story, this UFO story all of a sudden, this UFO invasion story, which they had ready to go. Like ready to roll out at a moment's notice. Like, when can we roll this story out? Here we go. Are ETs or Chinese balloons attacking the United States? Are we under an invasion? It doesn't matter. Look over here, not over there. Look over there, not over here. Avert your eyes. We don't want you to see. And so Edward Snowden is spot on. He says this afternoon and agrees that, warning us all not to get distracted. He writes, it's not aliens. I wish it were aliens, but it's not aliens. It's just the old engineered panic, an attractive nuisance ensuring NatSec reporters get assigned to investigate balloon bullshit rather than budgets or bombings, a la the Nord Stream pipeline. Until next time, he writes, so keep this up for a second. So this is a part that I hadn't really thought about, but he's absolutely spot on. By having the Pentagon holding press briefings, right, and by having all of your newsrooms focused on the balloon story and UFOs, and we got to get our national security reporters down to the White House. The Pentagon's holding a briefing on this. We got to get everyone in the newsroom. Hey, the White House is calling a meeting. They're calling a briefing. The National Security Council is getting ready. They're getting all together. Go down and cover this story. Yeah, but boss, what about that story last week, the Nord Stream pipeline? I told you, go down to this new press conference they're holding. And I hadn't thought about that, but he's absolutely right. That's a total distraction. This is a way to divert newsrooms. It's a really smart play because everyone snaps to attention. He's absolutely right about that. Something big is going on here. Something really big is being planned right in front of our eyes and by your deep state government. And they're doing it under the guise of an alien UFO invasion.
He actually talks about in his book how when
Edward Snowden does.
and how when he first joined the CIA, you get access to this internal government search engine because they have their own form of Google, run by Google, and it's more anonymous than like your records pinging the server. So everyone goes and looks up things that are classified, like who killed JFK and that kind of thing. And he says, in the government records that are accessible to employees, at least, you cannot tell. He says, as far as I could tell, aliens have never contacted Earth, or they haven't contacted U.S. intelligence. That it's not like something that you can see readily as an employee of the government. He also says that, yes, man did really land on the moon, climate change is real, and chemtrails are not a thing.
Oh.
So those are his conclusions based on internal government search engines.
So we know that those government internal search engines, though, then are crap because they're totally bifurcating information from people, right? So like people get access to certain things and by the way, we know based on Colonel Philip Corso, who literally worked on reverse engineering of UFO programs for the government. The stuff was kept out digitally. It was not allowed to be digitized. It was literally in a filing cabinet that his superior officers wheeled to him at the Pentagon. Here is the filing cabinet of all the reverse engineering material that you need. None of this is cross-checked and saved somewhere else. So again, being digitized in some sort of a CIA database for some low-level person.
And also those employees were probably only paying for the $9.99 per month version. You pay for $20, you get it all.
They weren't paying for Google, the G Suite of products, the Google.
Right.
Okay, we'll go ahead and stop it right there since that was the meat of the matter. What Snowden says, and pretty compelling, I have to say. I wish it were aliens. Well, guess what? You're going to get your wish. The alien that you're talking about is who the world ignorantly calls God and Jesus. Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. Okay? Because there are spaceships. Okay? There are spaceships. And the spaceships, they just go so far back, right? How about UFOs and ancient paintings? Why are there UFOs? And see, these UFOs in these ancient paintings, they're always have something to do with God and Jesus. There's Mary. Some guy painted this. What's that? Why is that there? Here's the crucifixion. What's this? What is this? Here it is right here. This here, that right there, is this right here blown up. Why is there somebody in the spaceship up there? Right here? Because that's the angels at the crucifixion. All right? See that? It's the same thing. This here is this here, and those are the angels in their ships. Okay? Like this. Right? Why? Ancient paintings. What's that? Is that a balloon? Who knows what's going on here? Anyway, look at this. What you got there? So the point is, this isn't nothing new. Why? Why is it nothing new? Because we know what is going on. All right? Let's get Wisdom 5. Wisdom of Solomon 5:1. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as afflicted him and made no account of his labor. When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear. When they see what? When they see us getting beamed up into them chariots. Right? Our salvation. When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond all that they looked for. What's that talking about? The strangeness of our salvation. What is that talking about? It's talking about Revelation 11. Here's the strangeness of our salvation. Eleven and 12. And they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, Come up hither. And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud. That's the strangeness. What is the cloud? The cloud is that spaceship. What does it mean to ascend up to heaven? It means to get beamed up, right? And their enemies beheld them. In the same hour was a great earthquake. So basically, this is what being saved means, right? To ascend up to heaven in a cloud. Oh, that's the rapture. No. Find the word rapture in the Bible, and then we can go back and forth. This cloud is a chariot. He maketh the clouds his chariots. Today we call them a UFO. All right? But they're IFOs because we know exactly what they are. All right? 1 Thessalonians 4. What is it? 17. Then, 1 Thessalonians 4 and 17, then we which are alive and remain shall be caught up together with them in the clouds. What is that talking about? To meet the Lord in the air. And so shall we ever be with the Lord. What does that mean? caught up in the clouds. What does that mean? Let's talk about them spaceships. Okay? So they exist, but somebody is trying to control the narrative, right? And with your little Project Bluebeam and all of that, you're going to try to come out and stage your own little whatever. Alien invasion. Let me see. Where's this guy at? That's not him. That's not him. That's not him. So lucky. I'm just kind of looking. Bear with. It's not on here. Let me see. Make sure. It must be a different segment where they had the guy come out and say, that he was going to stage, that the government was going to stage their own alien invasion. It's not in this segment. Anyway, that's enough.
Guys, on this.
All right? Even Yahushua, for that matter. When Jesus left the earth, right? How did he leave? The book of Acts 1 and 9. He left the same way. He's coming back. So we're in the time where the one you call Jesus is coming back. Right? This is how he left after the resurrection. And when he had spoken these things while they beheld, he, who's he? When you call Jesus, his name is Yahushua, was taken up, and a cloud received him out of their sight. Same thing. Okay? Same thing. A cloud received him out of their sight. Okay? And he's coming back. It says, this same Yahushua which is taken up from you into heaven shall so come in like manner as ye have seen him go into. It's coming back the same way in the second coming. Okay? And how is he coming back? Let's go. So we're in that time that he's coming back because you're seeing all of these spaceships. And they got to get in the middle of it and make up their own story. Revelation 1 and 7. Behold, he, who's he? When you call Jesus, whose name is Yahushua, cometh with clouds. Coming back the same way you saw him leave. And every eye, his ship is going to be so big, like a big old mountain. She'll be coming around the mountain. Every eye shall see him. So there's your spaceships. Yes, they exist. You've been talked out of it, like they're talking you out of it. Oh, there's no aliens. Ha 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 ha. Yeah, keep laughing. Snowden said, what did Snowden say? Damn. Snowden said this, I wish there were. Isn't that what he said? Let's see. What did Eddie say? It's not aliens. I wish it were aliens. Well, the code name for alien are the angels. Even when you get right down to who Jesus was, right, or who he is, guess what? He's not on your side. He's on the side of the elect of Israel. Okay? What does this say again? Revelation 11? Revelation 11 and 12. And they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, come up hither. And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud. And their enemies beheld them. Guess what? And they heard. Who is they? They heard a great voice. That's the elect of Israel. So the enemies of the elect of Israel are the enemies of the Most High, God, His Son, Yahushua, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus, and the children of Israel. Psalm 83, keep not thou silence, O God, hold not thy peace, and be not still, O God, for lo, thine enemy. What? God has enemies? Make a tumult, and they that hate thee. What? Who hates God? A lot of people hate God. He hates them. Have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people. Uh-oh, there's God's enemies, the same one that hate his people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come, let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may no more be in remembrance. Then it names them one by one. Edom, Amalek, Amalek, Edom. The enemies, see that word? And their enemies watched them get beamed up into the spaceship, and they were mad. You understand? They were mad as hell because we were being rescued and they weren't. And they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, come up hither. And they ascended up to heaven in a spaceship. And their enemies were mad as hell because shortly after that they got blown up with the nuclear missiles. All right? And it is what it is. Anyway, we'll end it there. I pray that the elect were edified, you brothers and sisters, with that shalom.